Hello everyone, this is 10x Generation and this is my road to $1 billion. I'm building a PC sharing platform where users can earn passive income by sharing their computers with others online. It's more specifically for Steam games, so you can think of it as a decentralized cloud gaming platform. And the platform is done. I speak about this in my previous videos, but it's done. All I have to do now is build a tutorial and pretty much just release it for beta testing, and so people could start making money. And like, I've been really slacking on this. I've said this before. I've been slacking. I did start on the video today, but I didn't do that much work today because my mind has been kind of occupied with some other things, and that's really the juice of what this video is going to be about. Um, I'm not really an anxious person. I don't really get nervous or anxious about things, but I'm starting to feel anxious. I'm starting to feel anxious. And the only other time in my life where I felt this level of anxiety, or it's like not of the same magnitude, but the same type of anxiety, was when I was in this relationship, maybe about 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago, with this girl. And for whatever reason, I would just have these constant nightmares of like artificial intelligence, like just the worst case scenario of that technology. And I wouldn't be able to go to sleep. I would be nervous throughout the day. Have like, it's kind of like, I don't even want to say lame or whatever, but like little panic attacks about this form of technology. And it was really weird because I'm like a technophile. I love technology. I love talking about it. I love understanding it. And AI is like the apex of technology, right? But for whatever reason, during that time, I was extremely anxious about it. And towards the end of the relationship, my anxiety on that technology, on AI, disappeared. Like, during the relationship, I literally would just have to stay away from artificial intelligence talks and videos and information. I didn't want to incorporate it into my projects. I just had to literally just stay away from it because it would just trigger such a crazy response from me. But towards the end, when I began to realize that this relationship was going to end, I used to say, like, we're heading towards a black hole. We're right up close to the event horizon where there's no turning back. I used to say this to her, basically saying that I don't really know what's going to happen, but most likely that this relationship is going to end. And once I realized that this anxiety of artificial intelligence went away and I was able to, develop with it and play around with it and do all these things, and I didn't really think too much of it. But now I'm starting to get back this anxiety. And funny enough, I'm starting to. I try to stay away from relationships. I think I talked about this in the previous video, but I try to stay away from relationships because they can be a distraction. But I've been talking to this one girl, and like, she seems promising, but that anxiety is coming back. I can feel it, right? It's not excitement. It's anxiety. And I was just thinking, like, why do I feel this way? When was some other times in my life where I felt this existential, like, fear? And it was during that past relationship. So I just, came up with a crazy hypothesis. Maybe there's some sort of connection or correlation. And guess what I went to? I went to ChatGPT. I have the pro version and told it about what I was dealing with. And it gave me this really interesting fact in psychology. There's this thing, property, or like a characteristic of the mind, behavior of the mind, whatever, called displacement, where if you have an anxious thought or something that is making you anxious, that feeling often needs an outlet. And if the cause of that feeling is something that is like really uncomfortable, or something you don't really want to um, deal with, then your brain will attach that feeling with some other thing, right? In my case, artificial intelligence. And it basically said potentially that the cause of my anxiety wasn't actually this crazy progression of artificial intelligence, but it's the crazy progression and the loss of control of my own life and my own relationships. Because when you're in a relationship, this is where I tried to stay away from relationships when I was in middle school and high school. But when you're in relationships, it's not just about what you want to do, it's about what the other person wants. And I am someone who, if I'm going to get into a relationship, I want to do it the best way possible. So I think I was allowing myself to go in a direction that I did not want to go into. And it was completely against what I wanted to do in my life. So I was getting anxiety about that. Imagine if your entire life you were talking about, I want to become a programmer, but someone that you deeply care for was not even forcing you, but like, I don't even know what's the word, but influencing you, successfully influencing you to go in a different direction. Kind of like what's the word? Like real passively, like not even forcing, like just there because you want to, I guess, like please or whatever. And that I think that's what was causing this form of anxiety, and that's why it kind of went away. And I've been such at this like peace level, post that relationship. So the fact that it's coming again now is telling me that this kind of relationship that I'm starting, or, I'm getting into the talking stages, I'm moving a little bit too quickly. I'm moving too quickly, and it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. And that's something that I got to think about and keep in mind. Because I said this in one of my previous videos, but I really, I want it all. I want amazing relationships, and I want an amazing business. I want peace and happiness. I want everything. I want it all, right? So I don't think it's wise to completely put off relationships in this stage, right? This is where most people have a lot of their relationship development. This age I'm in, 21. You have a lot of emotional development during this time, and if I just focus on business and money during this time, I could stunt my growth, and I don't want that. So I do want to actively have relationships, but I don't want it to control my life. And that's really what I'm saying. And if we just simplify it all down, that's basically what I'm saying. So just kind of in conclusion, the situation with this woman that I'm with needs to ramp down. It needs to become more casual and go a lot slower. Because I do not like having nightmares about robots. Because I'm a very creative person, and I understand the technology fairly well. So that's never good for something that's bad, because the stuff you come up with is just not good. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, what I'm going through. And maybe a potential reason why I'm not putting all my energy into what I need to be putting my energy into. So that's really it. Excuse me. That's really it. That's really it. And of course, she just texted me back now. You need to communicate this. I'm not just going to start acting different all of a sudden in the, because I don't, I like on my board, long lasting relationships. I have billionaire status, like my dream board. I have billionaire status. I have never satisfied with myself, and I also have long lasting relationships. I'm not going to start being passive aggressive and start, ignoring her and, doing all that stuff. I'm just going to tell her, like, hey, I think we're moving a little fast. I think we're doing a little bit too much. I like you, but let's slow down. It's making me uncomfortable. And I think as a guy, that's kind of like nerdy and kind of like lame to say. Or maybe just from kind of the culture I'm from. It's like, what? You're being a lame for saying that. But if that's something that she doesn't want to hear or like to hear, and that's like a turn off or a like, oh my gosh, then that kind of solves the problem immediately, right? Like, that would solve the problem immediately. So, but I saw the text, so she's on the same page. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, well, this has been a little bit of a different video. But if you got something out of it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend, someone who's going through something like this as well. Remember, your peace is how you get things done. So maintain your peace and analyze why you're not having peace. And yeah, I make these videos every single day. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.